This episode of The Direction is brought to you by South Carolina 811. Know what's below. Call before you dig. All right, folks, I'm getting the boat hooked up. Gotta always make sure them lights are on, everything's secure, hooked up right. Folks, we're gonna be headed to Taylorsville Lake. It is literally 15 minutes from my house. I grew up and found my love for tournament fishing on this little lake. It is a fun lake. It can be a little tough because it's right outside of Louisville, Kentucky. Today is going to be a little bit of a treat. You ready? My guest is me, myself, and I. I'm going to go out and spend a day of fishing, talking to you folks, catching some fish, hopefully, and just doing a little relaxing. So here we go. Everyone has a story. Sometimes it's about catching monster bass. Now that's a studly, mudly, baby. And sometimes it's about life's lessons. Every story is as unique as the person who tells it. So join us as we make some new friends, reunite with some old ones, catch a few fish, and share a story or two. I'm Mark Stowe, and this is The Direction.
Today on a very poignant episode, The Direction will conclude its 9-year journey right here on Mark's home lake. Taylorsville, Kentucky serves as the perfect backdrop for this bittersweet farewell. These waters are where Mark's love of fishing was born and his tournament angling began. So join Mark on the water as he reminisces about his countless adventures and the unforgettable friendships forged along the way. This is The Direction.
Man, this weather is absolutely beautiful. There's nothing better than sweatshirts for fishing. In my opinion, the best fishing is the sweatshirt time of year. Early spring, early fall, before winter, sweatshirt, lightweight, just enough to keep you warm, and hopefully the fishing will get started good. Get out and fall fish, I'm telling you, it's the time of year to do it. Just got started, got first little bass of the day. I'll take that all day long to get the day started right there. Look at that. First bank, that's why I love fall fishing. Fish number one of the day. See you, bud. It's fun filming for all these networks. You know, we air on 11 different platforms and all that, and it's crazy to think it's gotten to here and built a career for you and Christopher out of it. And, you know, and I've kind of, at this phase, I've done it for a while, and my son Christopher's got a baby on the way, grandbaby on the way. My daughter's 16, and my Nick over there, he's behind the other camera. He's 19 and working with me in the landscape business, and I want to coach him along with that just in case he wants the opportunity to run with that. And so I'm going to start transitioning where I'm at, and not going to get out of it, but I'm not going to film all these network shows and things like that. We're going to still put out digital content. We're still going to film things. I'm definitely not disappearing, but it's going to be, you know, a little bit of adjustment. I've kind of, as the day goes on and progresses here, I'm sure I'm going to have some thoughts, and it's amazing and joyful to look back on it and say, man, what a ride. And it's also bittersweet to say, man, I'm going to turn loose at chasing this dream of doing all this outdoor television on the networks and all that. And but anyway, I'm just a lot of, you'll probably be a little emotional ride today, so hold on. Hey, but I gotta get to catching some fish. This is a fishing show. I am supposed to catch some fish, so I gotta get after it. Oh, missed him. There he is. I knew he hit that thing. Look at that. Man, cranking, fall cranking, folks. This is a good one too. Look at here. Now, that's a Taylorsville Lake keeper right there. Look at there, boys. We're cranking them up today. Look at her. There's a nice 15 and a half, 16-inch fish there. That's a dandy. Hey, little bandit crankbait, one of my favorites right there. Look at that beauty. Love it right there. Right there, tournament time there, boys. Y'all ready for the release? See you, bud. Man. I love it. This segment was brought to you by Jinko Fishing. It's all about the action. This segment is brought to you by Denali Rods, tournament tested, tournament tough.
I wanted to give a shout out to the Direction team. Thanks, many thanks to Mark Stowe for all of the great years of fun we've had, educating folks on 811, getting our message out there and making sure folks are safely excavating, but more importantly, the relationships that we've been able to forge over the years.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate that opportunity to fish some of the places I got to fish, to see some of the scenery we got to see.
Thanking everyone for their support and continuing to pass along our message of excavating safely, utilizing 811. Call before you dig. Thanks so much. I appreciate everyone. Hope to see you soon.
Thanks, buddy.
Look at there. Oh yeah, another little chunky, nice keeper. Woo!
Never gets old, does it?
Never gets old. Started right here on this lake. My love for this right there. And still at it 30 years later, and still as exciting as the very first one I ever caught. Man, what an awesome day. Whew. Thank you, Lord, for the journey you've allowed me to travel. Ah, whew. Man, I ain't got no words. Now, sometimes this is a good story, men, and sometimes women, this is a bad story. Depends on your gender on this, and the husband-wife relationship. Back in a lot of years back, the day of my wedding, I come up and won a tournament on this lake. So literally the day I got married, I won a tournament on this lake, and then Brian, the guy I was talking about, fishing with right here, he was the guy I tournament fished with for all the years at home. He was the best man in the wedding. And now men, I'm gonna give you a little piece of advice. That is not something to be proud of, fishing on your wedding day. I would never choose to do that again as the man I am today. And women, no, it was not funny, and my wife is still mad at me over that. So, but what I will say, it's a real story. It's something I really did, and I did it right here on this home lake. You know, when you're by yourself, you don't have nothing to do but talk to yourself. Luckily, I got y'all behind the cameras, but sometimes all I have is to talk to myself. And man, doesn't that look good? Loaded up rod. Look at that catch. Game on. That's fake. Hung up. But on a fall day like this, it just don't get any prettier. And already got 3 fish in the boat. What I was saying, when you're by yourself, you just count. You count how many fish you catch. It's fun about coming up here. I've been up here so many years and fished up here for such a long period of time, tournament-wise, and just fun fishing. And you know, guys like Kevin running up on him and him telling a story of, you know, years ago, and me running in and out of the creeks. It's just fun stuff to reminisce on right there. It's awesome having your own little home lake like this where you fished for so long. Yeah, if you call, oh, look at this giant one. Look at that. Now that's the kind of bass I'm used to catching right there. Hey, not as big as my bait. This segment is brought to you by Rust-Oleum, paint and so much more.
Thank you, Mark, and the entire Direction team for everything that you've given our industry. We look forward to seeing what projects you have next, and good luck with everything life has to offer.
You know, both times that we went down for the show, it wasn't about the fish catches. You know, it was about that fellowship, that bond that was formed, you know, just allowing God to orchestrate his master plan, and just grateful and thankful that got to know Mark and his family. So I would say the memorable moments aren't about fish catches at all. It was just about the relationship that was formed, Now Mark and I are great friends and brothers in Christ forever. So I just pray a blessing over Mark's family and just whatever blessings over whatever direction they choose next.
Never shot a show without a guest in the boat, and this week, well, I'm listening to myself tell stories. It's really about this right here, about the great outdoors. And, you know, I say this to anybody, if you haven't experienced the outdoors, if you don't get out and fish and hunt, get out there, you'll meet some great folks. You'll see what the good Lord blessed us with too, right here. Oh, yeah, good. Good, boys. Oh, look at here. Don't stay there. Oh, I thought he's a good fish. I got excited. He was in them trees. Look at there. Man, if you told me I was going to have this kind of day on the Ville, I'd have been up here 2 hours sooner before daylight. Goodness, look at this. What a day. They just are biting, folks. They are biting. Oh, there's another fish. Holy cow, there's a pile of them on this point. Boys, we're gonna have some fun this afternoon. Look at here. Got me another little bass. About 25 years ago, I was able to get into sharing a safe digging message of call them before you dig. To have the underground utilities located, and from being a landscaper and that, of course, they, took me on, and what a great match it was for me to share that message. I've been sharing that message now for over 25 years, and it has led to just where I am today. I mean, it led to building the direction, having an outdoor show, because the utilities and one calls and all the folks in damage prevention, as we call it, they wanted to get that message to outdoors folks. And not only has it been an amazing ride to share that message, but the friendships, the other sponsors, all the folks that have supported me in this outdoor journey is just, to be honest with you, just humbling. I mean, folks like One Call Concepts, Rust-Oleum, all the one calls from Kentucky, Indiana, Alabama, South Carolina. I can go on and on. I can't name them all because we'll be here all day. Georgia. But, it has been amazing to watch all these great folks support all this. Jinko, Denali, I mean, it's just everywhere. And to ever dreamed that folks would have bought into doing this with me like that it's just crazy. I mean, and some of the new companies that come on, like Miller Tech and Power Pole, some of them I might not have had as long as others. And, all the years of working with Ranger boats, and that's, man, what a ride. What a ride. This segment is brought to you by Power Pole, swift, silent, secure.
So when I look back on my time with the direction, there's really not a single moment that I think of. It's just being able to come on board the show with no experience and getting to work with the entire team over the years. That's really the time where I grew up. And those opportunities to work with your family, travel all over, and make friends just all over the country. It's truly a unique experience that I don't think I'll ever have again. But after saying that, it kind of sounds kind of sad that something I spent so much time on is over now, but I think a part of the direction will always kind of be there. So, I'll leave it at so I'll leave it at, see you soon, because one day when life slows back down, we might get bored and do a little more fishing. So, see ya.
There we go. That makes for a fun day when you're throwing what you want to throw. Look at that little football. You good looking little fish there, buddy. Let's talk to him. Hey, I'm from Taylorsville Lake. I remember back in the day, I look over here in this other boat and I see Nick right over here. And I think about, Nick, you remember when we first started this, we went to West Virginia in the cold. Didn't know what we were doing, filming or nothing. And this one was in the water about this high with a camera standing out there filming us back in that boat in the water in the middle of the winter. Do you remember that? I mean, I started thinking about all them stories. He was that big and was running around with a camera, holding that camera and filming. Everybody's like, you letting that kid take that camera in the water? And I'm like, oh yeah, he'll be fine. Now it's time for your safe digging moment of the week, brought to you by 811. Always remember to call before you dig. Our 811 moment of the week is me truly realizing how grateful I am for the life that I have. Hosting The Direction for the last 7 glorious seasons has been a journey beyond words. I've had the privilege of exploring new horizons, meeting extraordinary people, and sharing their inspiring stories with all of you. While the show may be coming to a close, the spirit of The Direction will live on. The impact it's had and the countless connections I've forged will continue to guide me in the right direction. Thank you, each and every one of you, for joining me on this incredible adventure. Wade, you got me a fish coming at the boat. Oh yeah, this is man, what a Taylorsville day. Look at this and fighting. Look at this. Oh, look at that, Taylorsville special. Right there. Oh, he barely got it. Oh man, what a day. What a day, what a day, what a day. Thank you, Lord. Been pretty amazing, to be quite honest. Day full of fish catching, but most of all, I get to spend it with Zach and Nick. Look at there, another Taylorsville little chunk. Say you, little buddy. I've done this for 9 years, traveling and going everywhere, and it's coming to a point that it's been a whole lot of fun and way too much fun, but I got a new grandbaby on the way. I got a son working with me. I got my daughter 16 playing ball, and the direction was 2 words. Simply that, the direction. And I wrote those 2 words down quite a long time ago. I got to chase a crazy dream and watch it blow up to where it is today, and then realize as a good dad, husband, that, you know what, sometimes there's a time to go on to do something else and make a greater purpose out of something, and for me, that's what the direction's gonna do. I have 2 emotions. One, man, I'm never gonna do this probably this way again. But the second emotion says, man, what is next? And that is what the direction did for me. It's grown me up as a man, as a father, as a husband, as an individual to go and serve Christ. And if you don't have that in your lives, folks, look for it, because I'm telling you, you'll find a fulfillment and an excitement about everything you do in Him. And on that note, that's I don't know if I could wrap it up any better than that. I want to thank everybody that has ever watched all of this, supported all of it. Because It's truly 100% humbling to see what all has came out of this and what I've gained from doing it. Never dreamed, truly never dreamed and could have scripted it. The Direction is brought to you by 811. Know what's below, call before you dig. We would also like to thank these fine partners. Closed captioning is brought to you by USA North. Call 811 before you dig.